This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba for another technical diving tips, techniques, and trips video. So here is our project vehicle. This is actually a Toyota Tacoma 2013 truck that we purchased new, and as you can see, it has over 383,000 miles on it, so it's been very reliable. So what we want to do in this project is we want to create a system that will allow us to tell if the tailgate is down or not. So there have been some people, including myself, who have actually driven off with the tailgate down and stuff has fallen out. Fortunately, in my case, the things that fell out were not diving gear, but rather a few other things. All right, so there's a number of different ways that you could do this, and there are a few kits that you can buy on the market, some that require minimal installation. But what I wanted to do was to create a tailgate indicator system that operated as part of the integrated system that already existed on the car. So as everybody knows, whenever you open the door to the vehicle, the door ajar indicator comes on. And so what I wanted to do was I wanted to install a system so that whenever I left the tailgate down, that the door ajar indicator would stay on. All right, so that's what this video is going to be all about. So I wanted to make this system as simple as possible, and after giving it a little bit of thought, the idea that I came up with was to take the door sensor indicator, which is right here, this switch, and to try to wire a sensor in the tailgate that would operate in conjunction with this sensor. So the first thing you need to do is you need to figure out exactly how this switch works, and then once you've done that, you can figure out how to wire in the tailgate switch. So this is again a Toyota Tacoma 2013. If you're trying to do this on any other type of truck, make or year or model, the switch system might be slightly different than what I have here. So the very first thing I did was I unbolted this door sensor switch and pulled that out, and there was not very much a wire attached to it, and I also noticed that there was only one strand of wire going into it. What you're looking at right now is actually the replacement wire that I put on there. The wire was quite thin, and I was afraid of damaging it, so I spliced in a piece of heavier wire. So after looking at this and trying to figure out how this switch works, what I found out was the switch was what is called a normally closed switch, and what that means is when the little plunger here is not depressed, the circuit is closed. And so when the door shuts on it and it presses it down like this, it is now actuated and the circuit is open. Okay, so understanding what that is about is critical to the this process. All right, so basically what happens when you open the door, the plunger goes into its normal state, the switch is not depressed, and that completes the circuit, and it allows this wire here to actually go to ground. And so the ground, the other connection, there's no second wire, is connected to the door frame and the truck frame, and that completes the circuit. So when the door is open, this comes out, and then that is when that is released, the circuit closes, and the continuity goes from this wire down here to this part here, which is attached to the door frame. So that's basically how the switch works. Now that we understand how the switch works, okay, the issue is getting another line to the back of the truck so we can do the same thing. So what I had to do was pull apart the panel here. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see this. I had to pull apart the panel here, and there are some more wires here. And so what you need to do is you need to splice in a wire into the existing line here, and you're going to carry that wire to the back. So all you need is a single strand wire in order to do that. Aside of about 10 feet of wire, you also need to have a magnetic switch. This is the switch that I used, that I purchased off of Amazon. This particular switch can operate as both a normally open and as a normally closed switch. In our case, we're going to be using this switch in the normally closed mode. The magnets that come with the switch are very small, so I opted, as we'll talk about in the video later, I opted to obtain some larger magnets to operate the switch. So I locally obtained some magnets to operate the switch. They looked very similar to these, but they were not exactly the same. And I'm again going to use these magnets because they are stronger and larger to replace the small white magnets, white plastic encapsulated magnets that came with the switch. What you actually have to do is you have to lead the wire from the switch in the door up into the back of the bed of the truck. And so in order to do that, the wire needs to come out and it needs to go back through the wall of the back of the truck cabin. So in order to do that, you do have to drill a hole, and I have my wire going through there. You only really need a single conductor wire. I have a double conductor wire, but that's what I had on hand, but it's not really necessary to do that. So you have to drill a hole through the back of the cabin, and what's going to happen is it's going to come out right there. Okay, so you can see it. You can see it right there coming out of the back. And then what I have going on here is it's going underneath this cover. Okay, this is a cover. And I'm going to now show you how I fed it back. There are lots of ways that you could do this. You could actually lead it down to the bottom and lead it outside the bottom of the truck and then bring it back up. But I didn't really think that was necessary as I have a track in the bed of the truck. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at that. We're going to take a look at that next. So I'm leading my wire from the front of the bed of the truck along this track over here. And then what I did was I pried this off, popped this off, and I now have the wire going down through this hole down into the compartment here. So what this is actually a tailgate compartment here, and you can see the wiring coming in from the top. And what we have is we have that attached to this magnetic switch here. So we have the one conductor line attached to the red wire here, that wire, and then we have the other line, which is the white line, which is the ground line, attached to the inside of the bolt here. So I did have to get a slightly longer bolt in order to do that, and also a nut. And of course, this is all metric. So then the last thing you need to do, or next to the last thing you need to do, is to find a location for where you're going to put the switch here. And I've chosen this area right here so that when the tailgate is shut, the switch will be in position of the magnet. Now, the little magnet that came with this is very small, and here's one here. It's very small, and in order to make this work properly, it has to be contacted like right there. So that requires two things. One is it requires it to be in the correct position this way and that way, and it also has to be very close with respect to the distance here. So the way the tailgate is designed is you would have this like nub. In order to make it work, you'd have to have this nub sticking out because this magnet is not very powerful. So what I did instead was I got some neodymium magnets here, and a set of those, and I put those right on there, and they're not going anywhere, but I decided to put some glue on there anyway. And so what this is going to do, it's going to be in the correct position so that when this is shut, the magnet is going to be next to the switch. All right, so what we're going to do next is we're going to shut this, and then we're going to go to the front of the car, and we're going to check that the switch is actually doing what it needs to be doing. All right, so I'm going to get some of this stuff off of here. close this up. I can leave that down there for the moment. And I'm going to go back here. And sure enough, the switch is not on. If I open the door here, the switch comes on. And close the front door, it goes off again. Okay, so what this means is that our tailgate is actually working. All right, now I'm going to put it down again, and what we're going to do is check it to make sure that it is in fact working. So I'm going to put it down, and we're going to go back up to the front, and we're going to check it again, and the door indicator light is on. So if you were to leave the tailgate down and drive off and all your other doors were shut, then you would know that it is your tailgate that is on, and hopefully that will prevent you from losing anything out of the back of the bed of the truck. This is Chris with Dive Zone Scuba. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe.